Hi, welcome to Mind Body Monday. This is episode 3. This is going to be an 8-part series, so I'm going to release 8 episodes giving one mindfulness and one body technique that you can use throughout your work week to have less stress and more energy. In this episode, I thought it would be important to sort of lay down the framework for the vision of what the effortless work week is, what the sort of goal behind it is, what the vision behind it is, and why it's valuable to you if you're someone who works a 9 to 5 and you deal with stress and you have energy levels that you would like to improve, you'd like to have a higher quality energy, and you'd like to have less stress throughout your work week. In this episode, I wanted to really talk about awareness in a more broad sense. In episode 2, we talked about the foundations of mindfulness in the work environment, which was mindfulness is essentially your ability to focus on a task, and your awareness is your ability to be aware of the quality of focus and to stay on task. Okay. However, I want to broaden the idea of awareness in this short video for you because it's going to help you to begin to change the way you see your work week, which is going to it's going to open doors for you for new things in your work week that you currently aren't aware of. They're going to help you with our goal here, which is having less stress and more energy throughout our work week. So, your awareness, the capacity for you to be aware, is really big, okay? And our lives are complex. We have so much going on around us, right? We're trying to balance our finance, we're trying to balance our energy, we're trying to balance our work-life balance. Maybe we have kids we're taking care of, maybe we have after-work projects that we're trying to do, maybe we're an artist in our free time, maybe we have back pain, tight shoulders, right? There are so many things we could potentially there's so much stuff happening in our lives that to be aware of everything at once can be really challenging. So, in this episode today, we're talking about how do we begin to expand our awareness in a way that allows us to be in more of an alignment with our goals, more of an alignment with embodying, actualizing, and being in a higher quality energy, a higher quality mindset, a higher quality paradigm, where things that generally bother most people during their work week, like difficult people, deadlines, mistakes, errors, fears, being stuck in traffic. I heard a lot of people they dread Monday on Sunday, and so they'll ruin their whole Sundays dreading the Monday to come. Kind of turns into a one-day weekend on Saturday. So we can begin to expand our awareness. We can expand our awareness of how our mind works, how we think about things, how our mental filters are processing information throughout our day. And then we can also develop an awareness into our body, right? Because our body is where our energy comes from, right? We eat food, we digest it, our heart is pumping, our lungs are pumping. This is what's fueling our body. The body fuels itself through its functions. But our body also stores a lot of our stress, okay? Turns out stress isn't just in our mind, it's also in our body. And so if we want to have more energy and less stress, we want to address both of these things, our mind and our body. For example, let's say there's something in your work week that you have to do every single week, and every single week you find that very stressful. Chances are the reason that that's stressful is because you have not taken the time to expand your awareness about that thing. Okay, now I know there's many different things, but let's say there's something like you have to maybe like every day or once a week sign into a certain software and do a certain process in your job. and you find this very stressful. There's a lot of clicks. Sometimes the information doesn't always work. Like sometimes the thing will freeze. You've had difficulty dealing with the company or this thing in the past. And you've essentially decided in your mind that this thing, this process, is stressful and you don't like it. And you dread doing it every single week. Even though you have to do it every single week. When we're in a low state of awareness, we will generally resist and we'll stay locked in to this stress pattern. However, if we, through the practices I'm about to talk about at the end of this video, begin to expand our awareness about how we relate to the inevitable things in our work weeks that we have to do no matter what. It's just part of the job for our survival. When we increase our awareness about these things, essentially, the higher your awareness is, the less petty, small things, routine things that we have to do every single day can bother us. Okay? That's essentially how this framing of awareness works. So, let's say instead, now that we're working on our awareness, when we go to work on this process of this annoying thing, we use a noting technique, for example. We say, anxiety and stress. What do I value? I value high quality energy and relaxation. I value feeling good. I want to feel good in my life. But with this thing, I want to feel bad about it. It stresses me out. By being aware of what your values are and what you want, and seeing that disconnect between how it is, you can begin to shift how you approach that thing. Okay? So how do we increase our awareness about it? There's a few different things we can do. Next time you go to do that thing, be totally honest with yourself about how the things you're telling yourself about it. Maybe as you go in, you're saying, oh, this is so hard, this is so stressful, this is so stupid, I hate having to do this. This thing I do every single week. I notice tightness in my chest. I notice I clench my shoulders. I think about the previous time I did this where things went wrong and that was very stressful. And so all of a sudden when I'm doing this task, I have all the extra stuff I'm carrying that I'm not aware of. The more aware I become of the extra things I'm carrying, like let's say you were carrying physically all these boxes and plates and heavy items and they were weighing you down everywhere you went. And you're like, man, I hate walking around because it's just so heavy. I don't want to do this. But then you become aware, oh, I'm carrying all these plates and these things, and then you decide to put them down, then all of a sudden, walking becomes a lot more fun. So, when we become aware of the things we tell ourselves with this process, and if we're able to gain a bit of a space between our thoughts, how we're framing a situation, and we develop an openness to new possibilities, then we can say, actually, what if I went about this today, just for this 1 week, and I just did the process without overthinking it. And while I did it, I felt into myself, and I just relaxed, and I just did the task. And then as soon as I was done that task, I let it go. I'm no longer thinking about it because it's done. What if this week I said, I'm going to write a schedule for myself, know exactly what I'm doing, and when I'm working on a certain task, I'm just doing that one task, and I'm not dreading this future task. And the tasks I'm working on, because I know I have to do it anyway, I'm actually kind of playing a game with myself to see how can I begin to enjoy doing this task more when normally it's a dread. Okay. Here are 3 techniques you can do to begin to increase your awareness as you go throughout the work week. The golden rule that I want to talk about that's going to run through a lot of the effortless work week material is with greater awareness comes less stress and more energy. Okay? The more aware you are, the more loving you are, the more open you are, the more willing you are to let things go, the more safe you can feel. Okay? Here's 3 ways you can develop more awareness. First one is journaling. Journaling 2 or 3 times a week, 25 minutes or even just 10 minutes. Just writing your thoughts down. That's it. Whatever's on your mind, write your thoughts down. Contemplate. Sometimes you can even, there's so much to be said here about different journaling techniques, but that's a really powerful practice. And I'll talk about these journaling techniques in the future. And if you sign up for the Effortless Workweek 3-month program, there are journaling techniques in that program that are going to help you to begin to increase this awareness, because self-awareness is key. 2 is meditation. Now, I know for a lot of people, meditation is rather boring. And for Effortless Workweek, I'm not going to talk too much right away about sitting meditation, but just finding time to sit and do nothing for 3 minutes a day in silence somewhere, and just letting everything go and just being. It's really, really important. Just feeling what's there. Just feeling it. Not distracting yourself with podcasts or Netflix or TikToks or work or music. Just feeling what's there for 3 minutes. The next thing we can do to increase our awareness is Qigong. Qigong is a moving meditation. Okay? For a lot of us, sitting meditation is too boring. But if you do a Qigong practice and you're moving your body, you begin to realize that a lot of the stress that you're holding in your body is actually in your body. And the only way to get rid of it is to move, is to shake it out, it's to stretch, it's to breathe, because you're holding the stress in your physical structure. Okay? And the more you practice a Qigong practice of removing that stress from the physical structure, the easier it is for you to have less stress when you're doing other tasks throughout the week. That's why Qigong for the Effortless Workweek coaching program is a keystone habit in your work week. You only have to do it for 5 or 10 minutes a day. I recommend you do it once for an hour on the weekend. And that's how we can begin to have dramatically less stress and more energy throughout the work week. And I am designing a webinar right now that should be up the next week or 2, that if you watch it, you're going to get so much information about how you can go about developing your effortless work week, because that's important. And here is the bonus thing. If you really are serious about developing your awareness throughout your work week, you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in a coach who is there every single week to listen to you, to ask you questions, to guide you through that week, to help you increase your awareness. Because when we're in the thick of it, it's almost like we're carrying so much weight, there's so much happening, and it's very real to us. We're in that thing, that stressful work week. Even if we're meditating, journaling, doing Qigong, that's all incredibly important and foundational. But if you don't have a coach who is asking you questions, guiding you through it, giving you support, helping you to let things go, helping you to have more energy, more productivity, and more joy through your work week, it's going to be really, really hard. Okay, and that's why really need a coach, which is why the Effortless Workweek program is being launched. Okay, because I want to help you have less stress and more energy throughout your work week. I want to help you develop an effortless work week. We spend most of our lives working, okay? Most of our waking lives, we're at work. And a lot of people, something like 50 to 60%, it's probably more, honestly, of people who work their jobs, even jobs they once loved or they do love, they're stressed, they're anxious. And it's nearly going to be impossible for most people to get out of those cycles without an intervention, without a coach, without someone helping you, giving you practices, coaching you through those things. So that's fundamentally important. Okay? So I think that's everything for today. All right, I hope that was clear, I hope that made sense. The key thing is, by increasing our awareness, what bothers us in the past, what bothers us right now, what seems very real, like this is really stressful, or really tiring, or really a problem, or really this. If you can increase your awareness, a lot of those problems, you'll see they never existed, and that you're much more capable of going about your week in an effortless way than you currently think. I know that probably sounds crazy, but bear with me here, because if you continue to listen, this will start to make more sense, okay? This is the effortless work week is a bit of a deep thing, which is why I need you to be serious about really wanting to make a change, okay? All right, let's dive into a 3 poses, Qigong, that we can do to help us to gain a bit of awareness about how we're feeling in this present moment. So where are we? We're gonna feel into that right now. And then, let's dive in. So let's do 3 or 4 moves here, Qigong. Let's do 3 or 4 Qigong moves here let's do 3 or 4 Qigong moves here with an intention of gaining more awareness about how we feel right now, okay? Let's take our hands, cross them like this, and just place them on our belly. Just begin to breathe into our belly. So inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly contracts. Feel the feet on the floor beneath you. If you'd like, you can close your eyes for a moment. Just breathe into the belly. Feel the hands expand, and exhale, contracts. Breathe in, belly, hands expand, exhale, contract. Just feel yourself, your weight on the chair. Feel the sensations in the body, and hear the sounds around you. Take your right hand and place it over your chest and your heart. Let's do some wave breathing here. You can open your eyes, take a look here. As you inhale, the belly expands, rib expands, chest expands. As you exhale from the chest, the ribs, and the belly. So you wave, belly, ribs, chest. Wave down, chest, ribs, belly. Wave breathing is a great posture for helping our nervous system to switch from stress, fight or flight to rest and recovery mode. Just feel your feet on the floor beneath you. And hear the sounds around you. Now exhale your arms down to your side. And just feel yourself sitting here for a moment. Feel your weight on the chair. Hear the sounds around you. Any thoughts about anything that's not this present moment, just allowing it to be a cloud that passes through. The only thing that really exists right now is this room that you're in and the present moment. Everything else is imagination. Notice how sometimes you can look at a painting and think, wow, that's the most beautiful painting in the world. And the next day you can look at the same painting and be like, I don't know, today doesn't really catch my spark, right? Same painting, your brain filters it differently on different days. And in that knowing that you have a filter exists the key to developing your effortless work week. Okay, come forward on your chair, and we're just gonna inhale and exhale. Just gonna do a little bit of tension in the spine and the shoulders. As you're doing this movement, as we're on the topic of increasing awareness, as you're moving here, And exhale, feeling those tight spots in the back and shoulders. It's oftentimes only when we're moving and we're consciously moving that we notice how much tension we hold in our body. Now let's change direction. Excuse me. Burping aloud. Okay, exhale down. And just feel into the body again. Hear the sounds around you. And let's just do pulling down the heavens to center all this. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down. And while we're doing this, we're just noticing how taking these full deep breaths and exhaling, just noticing whatever changes come from that. Not needing anything to happen. Hands over the belly, just feeling and breathing here. And that's it. Alright, so that was today's Mind Body Monday. Today we talked about how awareness is the secret to unlocking our effortless work week. We want to become more aware of our mental filter, the way we're filtering our work week. A lot of the problems that we think exist, though there's usually some truth to that it is something in our work week that we have to deal with and have responsibility for. Oftentimes the way that we're framing it, the way we're thinking about it, the way we're relating to it, creates our stress. Just like how some days your one song is your favorite song and you really like it, then a week later you have the same song and you don't like it as much. You have a mental filter that is filtering things out. Even the same thing. Something that you really like one day, you don't like that much the next day, because our mental filter is always shifting and changing. And it's realizing this arbitrary nature of the way that we look at things. We can take advantage of that by having higher awareness, remembering our values of joy, of presence, of embodying a high quality energy. And when we can stay rooted in those principles and those values and work toward embodying that and becoming aware of how our mental mind is filtering and attracting in the opposite of that, that's where our work begins. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. This is part 3. Remember, I'm going to put up 5 more of these. And I hope you enjoy them. And if you do, send me a message. Let me know what you're thinking. If you don't like them, send me a message. Let me know what you're thinking. And I'll look forward to hearing from you. Also, if you like this content and you'd like to go a bit deeper, you can follow me at Effortless Workweek on Instagram. You can also follow the YouTube page, and you can follow the podcast. On this week's podcast, I'm talking about how Qigong fits into the work week and why Qigong specifically is a cornerstone or a keystone habit that's going to unlock your effortless work week. Thank you so much for watching.